The tapes that he found, that I may be on them, so it could be more. My lawsuit was filed under the Gender Motivated Violence Act. It's for coercion, it's for sex trafficking, it's for forced labor.
A recording of Meek and Diddy
making love?
Yeah. I don't know if it was love.
Okay, you have it? Let's hear it.
Things are looking real bad for Diddy right now. Videos are popping up all over the internet out of nowhere, and it's not looking good at all. Guess what? He just sold that famous matte black private jet. Yeah, the one he flexed non-stop with those shiny baby oil posts on Instagram and TikTok. That jet is gone, and people are asking serious questions about why he suddenly let it go. This could be the start of his total downfall. No joke. Something feels off, and everyone's starting to notice it. You clicked for a reason. And trust me, you're in the right spot, because I'm about to break down every single viral clip shaking up the internet right now. We're talking wild karaoke moments, party scenes that made fans look twice, and footage that has people whispering all kinds of things online. That leaked audio is straight up wild. It's got everyone talking non-stop. But hold up, it's not just about those tapes. There's way more to this story. We've got to talk about why Diddy sold his private jet and what that really says about the situation he's in right now. Because selling something that big, that's not just a random move, it's a message. By the end of this, you're gonna see the full picture of what's really happening around Diddy. And trust me, it's deeper than it looks. Some of these tapes might even have you doing weird stuff like smashing that subscribe button out of pure shock. But before we dive into the madness of those clips, you need to understand what's been going on with him lately. Without that background, none of this chaos is gonna make sense, and there's a lot to unpack here. So here's what went down. I'm not gonna rehash every single detail about what he did or the whole sentencing part. You probably already know the gist. Right now, Diddy is sitting in Fort Dix prison, and this whole mess kicked off back in March 2024 when federal agents raided his homes in both Los Angeles and Miami. Can you even imagine waking up to feds tearing through your house like that? That's straight up wild. But it doesn't stop there. It actually gets way worse. Multiple lawsuits have been stacked against him by victims, and there's a lot happening behind the scenes that most people don't even realize. If Diddy had been convicted on those heavier charges, the Southern District of New York was fully prepared to take everything. I'm talking about his cash, his mansions, his luxury cars. Every single thing tied to his name would have been gone in a heartbeat. That's exactly why it makes total sense for Diddy to start selling off his stuff right now. He's got to stack up cash fast to handle all these legal battles, because when you've got this many lawsuits flying at you from every direction, those lawyer bills hit hard. And trust me, they don't come cheap. Now that you've got the full picture of what's been going down, it's time to dive into these shocking tapes. And some of this content is seriously disturbing. You won't believe what's been coming out lately. First up, we've got to talk about what Aubrey O'Day said. If you don't already know, she used to work closely with Diddy. She knows him on a personal level, and what she's been saying, it's about to stir things up big time. So recently, Aubrey popped up on a podcast and dropped some real interesting stuff about Diddy's situation. She didn't hold back at all. She compared Diddy's trial to almost like a jail, but what really hit hard was what she said next, that it's not even 1% of the justice that the victims deserve. Not even 1%. That's a bold statement right there. She didn't stop there either. Aubrey said the system is still out here protecting certain people, and she made it clear she's not just talking about Diddy. According to her, there are others involved who did way worse things than what Diddy's even being accused of. That's a huge claim, and people online are losing it over what she implied. This part is super important because it proves this whole situation runs way deeper than just one man. It's about an entire system, and honestly, that's scary to even think about. It's not just Diddy's story anymore. It's something way bigger that's been brewing under the surface for a long time. Now, what comes next might make some people straight up uncomfortable, but it's something that has to be talked about. A viral video started spreading online, and it's exposing a serious issue that's got everyone debating. The video didn't only mention Diddy, it brought up a whole list of big names, including Tupac, Biggie, Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, Chris Brown, and more. The person in the video dropped a heavy question. Are we still gonna keep supporting artists who hurt black women? And then came a statement that really shook people, something powerful that needs to be heard. Consent can always be taken back. Just because someone said yes at first doesn't mean they can't change their mind later. That's a real fact that too many people still don't get. The viral video called this out and hit everyone with a tough question.
What are we gonna do differently now that this documentary is out? And honestly, that's something we all need to sit with for a minute. Are we still gonna stream their songs, buy concert tickets, wear the merch, and act like nothing happened? Or are we finally gonna start holding people accountable for their actions? This isn't just about one person, it's about the whole industry and how silence keeps the cycle going. Now, I'm not here to tell anyone what to do, but this conversation has to happen. Too many people are still turning a blind eye, and that's part of why it keeps happening. Anyway, here's where it gets even wilder. People who used to work for Diddy are now saying they haven't seen a paycheck since he got locked up.
I'm gonna take your souls. We have the power. We decide what's hot. If we don't go, nobody goes. If we don't support, nobody supports. We control what's cool. We control what's hot. We control what your kids listen to, what they dance to. We control what's in video games. We control how they wear their pants, sag their pants. We control everything.
Now, Diddy's spokesperson jumped in fast to shut those rumors down, claiming it's all false. They said everyone's getting paid on time and nobody's quit. But here's where things start to clash. People who are actually close to what's really happening are saying the complete opposite. They're saying, yeah, folks have been walking out because their paychecks just stopped showing up. So what's the truth here? Apparently, there's this company called TriStar Sports and Entertainment that's handling Diddy's finances while he's locked up. And word is, they run things with super strict rules. Nothing moves without heavy approval, and it's causing major delays with money getting sent out. So even if Diddy wants to pay someone himself, it takes ages to get cleared. And here's the kicker. This whole mess isn't just hitting his employees, it's starting to spill over and affect other parts of his business too. Even Diddy's own family is feeling the pressure right now. His mom, Janice Combs, and his kids are reportedly struggling to get money for basic things they need. And that's wild when you think about the lifestyle they were used to. One day you're living that high life, flying private, buying anything you want without a second thought. And the next, someone's telling you that you can't touch your own money anymore. That's a serious fall from luxury. Now let's be real, a lot of people online say they don't feel too bad for him, considering everything that's come out. But it still shows how fast things can flip when the money flow gets locked up. One minute it's all glitz and fame, the next is chaos. And here's where it gets really wild. The New York Post dropped a bombshell, claiming they've actually got tapes from Diddy's so-called freak-off parties, and they've even pinpointed exactly when those events went down. These tapes are supposedly go back all the way to 2004 and 2005, and the details are straight up wild. The clips are said to come from VMA after-parties and even Super Bowl weekend events, and the stuff described in these reports is shocking.
So let's break down what they found. There was a party right after the 2005 VMAs, and at first, it looked like any high-end Hollywood bash. Big names were there: Eva Longoria, Paris Hilton, Ice-T, Quincy Jones, the usual A-list crowd. But then, things took a weird turn once the big celebs dipped out. After everyone left, the whole vibe flipped. The reports describe scenes with young men and women in different stages of undress, and people seen engaging in some seriously wild behavior. One woman in the footage even appeared to have white powder under her nose, and you can probably guess what that suggests. And here's how investigators matched it up. Diddy was seen in the video wearing the exact same white t-shirt he had on in real photos from that VMA afterparty. The shirt had "God is the greatest" written in bold black letters, making it a perfect match. That pretty much confirmed the video was from that exact night. But that's not all. There's also footage from Super Bowl weekend, February 2005, where Diddy hosted a massive gala packed with stars like Ashton Kutcher, Ashley Simpson, and Joe Francis. You know that guy from Girls Gone Wild? Yeah, he was there too. But here's where things get even crazier. Just hours after that fancy gala ended, the party didn't stop. It moved straight to a mansion Diddy was renting for a jaw-dropping $20,000 a week. Can you even imagine spending that much just to rent a house for 7 days? That's next-level living. Now, according to one of the videos from that night, you can actually see two men together while laughter echoes through the room. And here's the part that's blowing everyone's mind. It looks like Diddy himself was holding the camera. It's like the footage was from his own point of view, with him filming while everything was going down.
That's wild. And here's where it turns serious. A federal law enforcement source reportedly said that what's in these videos lines up with information they already have. Their next step is figuring out whether everything that happened in those clips was fully consensual or if people were possibly being pressured or forced into it. That's the biggest question on the table right now. Were people really there by choice, or was something darker happening behind those closed doors? It's absolutely insane to think about. And believe it or not, it gets even worse. Remember those tapes I mentioned earlier being sold around? Well, one of the lawyers representing one of Diddy's alleged victims just revealed something completely shocking about that. So here's where things take a seriously wild turn. One of the lawyers representing a victim said someone actually reached out to her, trying to sell her a video. And get this, the clip supposedly shows Diddy with another huge celebrity. She said she saw it herself with her own eyes. And here's the jaw dropper. The other person in that video is reportedly even bigger than Diddy. She said you can clearly see who this person is, leaving zero doubt about their identity. That's crazy, but it doesn't stop there. Apparently, this isn't the only tape floating around. There are multiple videos being sold across Hollywood right now. People in the industry call it a catch, which basically means someone approaches you like, hey, buy this tape from me or I'll drop it for the world to see. Straight up blackmail. And word is, several celebrities are dealing with this exact nightmare right now. Just think about that for a second. Imagine being a famous name and getting a call from some stranger saying they've got a video of you doing something you never wanted the world to see. That's pure panic right there. But the truth is, if you never did anything shady in the first place, you wouldn't be in that position to begin with. Just saying. And speaking of uncomfortable, another clip just popped up online, this time showing Diddy and Meek Mill at a karaoke party. And let me tell you, watching that one makes people squirm. In the video, Meek Mill starts saying some seriously questionable stuff while they're doing karaoke, and you can literally see Diddy whip his head around with this shocked look, like, did he really just say that about me? The energy in that clip is tense, it's awkward, and people online couldn't stop replaying it. That video instantly reminded fans of that alleged leaked audio from last year. You remember the one. The clip that supposedly captured Meek Mill and Diddy having a private conversation that went viral all over social media. Well, that audio actually ties back to a 70-page lawsuit filed by producer Rodney Lil Rod Jones. In that lawsuit, they mentioned a redacted rapper from Philadelphia who had dated Nicki Minaj. The name was blacked out, but in the footnotes, they basically gave it away. They described him as a rapper from Philly who used to date Nicki. Everyone instantly knew they were talking about Meek Mill. According to the lawsuit, there were claims of inappropriate behavior between Meek and Diddy, which sent shockwaves through the industry. Once that came out, people started looking at Meek Mill completely differently. Even his song Dreams and Nightmares started to hit with a whole new meaning after that. Now, let's be clear, nobody's saying this is confirmed fact, but when something like that shows up in an official legal document, you can't help but wonder what's really going on behind the scenes, you know? So TMZ just dropped brand new footage of Diddy inside Fort Dix.
Ladies and gentlemen, for all those in London that don't know what happens to the white man when he comes to a P. Diddy party, this is what happens to the white man.
It's so unfortunate.
You gotta pull back so they can see. That's crazy. Matt, move out the way. You're still alive. Look at that. Look at
Look at the drink on his head.
And that's James from Simeon Mobile Disco. He is a actual DJs aren't supposed to pass out, but when they come to one of my parties, this is what happens to him. I put him to sleep.
Next day, right?
You put the drink on his head.
There it is.
Prison. And get this, he actually looks happy, like straight up smiling. It's wild because this man is drowning in lawsuits, facing serious charges, and watching his whole reputation crumble. Yet he's sitting there grinning like everything's fine. What's that about? Some folks think he's just putting on a brave face because he knows the cameras are rolling and he wants to look unbothered. But others are convinced there's more to it, like maybe he's sitting on a secret deal or knows something the rest of us don't. Either way, it's got everyone talking.
And here's the craziest part. There's this old clip from an award show where Diddy practically spelled out what was coming years ago. You gotta see it to believe it. He literally stood there and said, "We have the power. We decide what's hot. We control everything." When Diddy dropped that line back then, everyone probably just thought he was hyping himself up. Typical confidence, right? But looking back at that speech now, it hits completely different. It's almost like he was low-key revealing what was really happening behind the scenes and nobody caught it at the time. It's kind of chilling when you think about it. Just how much control did these people really have, and what exactly were they doing with that power? It makes you wonder what else was going on that the public never saw. Then there's this other clip that recently surfaced, footage of Diddy hanging out with some of his celebrity friends. And let me tell you, the vibes are seriously off. The video starts out pretty normal, with someone saying a prayer, and for a second, it all looks harmless. But once Diddy starts interacting with everyone in the room, something just feels wrong. The body language is tense, the smiles look forced, and the whole energy feels heavy, like nobody really wants to be there. People in the comments are pointing out all kinds of small details I didn't even notice the first time. The glances, the tone, the awkward reactions. I'm not gonna spoil it for you, but seriously, go watch that video and see what you pick up on, because something about it feels way off. This next clip is honestly disturbing to watch. It's one of those videos that makes you pause and go, wait, what did I just see? There's footage from one of Diddy's old parties showing a white man completely passed out on the floor, not moving at all. Then Diddy walks up to the camera and says, for all those in London that don't know what happens to the white man when he comes to a P. Diddy party, this is what happens to the white man. After that, he literally points to the guy lying there motionless. Someone nearby even sets a drink on top of the man's head like it's a joke, and Diddy keeps talking.
Is the first videos of Diddy in prison at Fort Dix. I mean, how do they keep getting this stuff? And how much are they paying these other inmates to send them videos of Diddy? This is wild. Apparently Diddy was working. Diddy helps give movies and religious materials to other inmates.
He says the guy's name is James from Simeon Mobile Disco, an actual DJ, and then he laughs and says DJs aren't supposed to pass out, but when they come to one of my parties, this is what happens to them. I put them to sleep. Now hold up, what does I put them to sleep even mean in that context? Because when you think about everything else that's been coming out lately, that phrase sounds real bad. Was he just joking, or was there something else behind those words? What actually happened that made this man pass out like that? This video raises so many red flags, and the fact that Diddy thought it was funny enough to record it and post it tells you a lot about where his head was at. The whole thing feels wrong on so many levels.
There's another clip making rounds right now. This one features Ashton Kutcher, and it's got people talking non-stop. In the video, Ashton and Diddy are seen together at a charity event that was supposed to raise money for mosquito bed nets in Africa. Ashton talks about being from Venice Beach, and they both thank Starbucks for sponsoring the event. At first glance, it all looks super normal, just a wholesome charity moment, right? But now, with everything we've learned about Diddy's lifestyle and those wild parties, people are re-watching that clip with totally different eyes. It makes you wonder, did Ashton actually know what was really going on behind the scenes, or was he just there for the charity part and dipped before things got weird? Nobody's saying Ashton did anything wrong. There's zero proof he knew about any of the darker stuff, but still, it raises that tough question. Who knew what, and when did they know it? And just when you think the story can't get any heavier, it takes a heartbreaking turn, because a woman named Adria Sherry English has now come forward with her story, and what she describes is truly devastating. She revealed that she was first hired in the early 2000s to work as a go-go dancer at Diddy's exclusive white parties, the kind of events everyone in the industry dreamed of getting into. At first, everything seemed perfect. Diddy came off as charming, friendly, and larger than life. She felt special just being there, constantly getting invited back. In her mind, this was it, her big break into the entertainment world. But after the second or third party, things started to shift. She said the vibe completely changed. It wasn't just about dancing anymore. She was suddenly being told to do extras, like entertaining certain guests, escorting people to private rooms, and spending time in off-limit areas of the mansion. That's when she dropped a serious bombshell. She said, "I believe I was drugged." She described how everyone was given champagne from certain bottles, and after drinking it, things would get strange. Your eyes would stay open, but your body wouldn't respond. She said it was like being awake, but not really there, a complete blackout while still moving around like a zombie. That's terrifying to even imagine. According to her, she was then pressured into doing inappropriate things with Diddy's guests, people who were rich, powerful, and famous. She admitted she went along with it because she honestly believed it would help her career, maybe even lead to a record deal someday. Looking back, she says she was naive and way too trusting. She estimates she was put in those situations with over 20 people across all the parties she attended, and it's heartbreaking to hear her describe it now. 20 people. Let that number sink in for a second. And what makes this story even heavier is what she said next. When authorities raided Diddy's homes, she claimed they found tapes, and she believes she might actually be on them. If that's true, it means there could be even more victims out there than just the 20 she mentioned. That's chilling to even think about. She went on to file a lawsuit accusing Diddy of coercion, trafficking, and forced labor. Back then, she said nobody believed her. She tried to move on just by drinking to numb everything and survive day to day. She didn't want to embarrass her family or reopen that trauma, but at the end of her interview, she said something powerful. Everybody's not lying. What if people are telling the truth? That line hit people hard because it forces you to really think about how many voices have been ignored for years. Listening to her story just hits different. She thought she was stepping into a dream life, dancing at elite parties, networking with stars, but instead she was living through something deeply traumatic. And honestly, she's probably not the only one with a story like that. Now let's switch gears for a moment, because remember that private jet we talked about earlier? Back in October 2025, Diddy sold off his famous matte black private jet, the same one he used to flaunt non-stop online. And honestly, he's lucky someone even wanted to buy it. When celebrities get tangled up in legal messes, people tend to stay far away from this stuff. It's like the things get cursed. Just look at Alec Baldwin, who's dealing with the same issue trying to sell his property after that whole Rust movie controversy. But here's the real kicker. If Diddy had actually been convicted on those higher charges, the Southern District of New York was already prepared to take everything. His cash, his homes, his luxury cars, gone. They were ready to seize it without hesitation. And if you think that sounds extreme, just remember what happened to Young Thug. They took all his belongings when he got locked up, and it took a fight to even get some of it back. That's exactly what would have happened to Diddy. Everything could have been gone, and unlike others, he probably wouldn't have gotten any of it back. So let's talk about that jet for a second, because this thing wasn't just any private plane. It was a Gulfstream G550, built in 2015, dripping with luxury. It had a sleek matte black exterior, a soft beige interior, could seat up to 14 passengers, and yes, it was even pet friendly. Jets like that usually sell for somewhere between $15 million and $30 million. Can you even wrap your head around that? Most people are saving up just to afford an economy ticket, and Diddy was out here cruising around the world in a $30 million jet. That's a different level of wealth right there. He sold it through his company, Love Air LLC. But here's where it gets interesting. The tail number for that plane isn't registered to him anymore. It now appears to be registered in San Marino, a tiny country tucked in Europe that's known for its private banking and discreet asset deals. Sounds convenient, doesn't it?
I'm from Cali on this, man. This beat. Shout out. That's a Christian. Shout out.
So, we here to, try to raise money for these, mosquito bed nets. So if you don't understand, just imagine living in Africa and, your little infant child just gets bit by a mosquito and he dies. We're with a charity this year, and I'm glad that's my boys' charity, and we're going to do it every year with another charity. So thank y'all very much for coming. So let's party. Come on. Let's go. Let's go.
So why did he sell it? Simple. He needs cash. Between all the civil lawsuits, lawyers, and legal chaos surrounding him, the man's burning through money faster than it can come in. When you're fighting this many cases, every penny counts. So he's offloading anything valuable he can just to keep up with those insane legal bills. Now, here's the part that's huge. As of January 1st, 2026, literally just a few days ago, a brand new law officially went into effect in California called the California Justice for Survivors Act.
And this one changes everything. It opens up a special 2-year window where victims can file lawsuits even if the statute of limitations already expired. That means cases that were once considered too old to bring to court, now they're fair game again. And it's not just limited to the person directly responsible. This law allows victims to go after anyone who played a role in covering it up or enabling it. This could open the door for a massive wave of new lawsuits, and Diddy might be right in the middle of it. And this is where things are about to explode, because with the California Justice for Survivors Act now in play, people are already stepping forward with fresh claims, and some of them are naming names we've all heard before. It's not just about Diddy anymore. This could pull in a whole circle of people who allegedly helped keep things quiet for years. Insiders are saying his legal team is scrambling right now, trying to figure out who might file next. Sources close to the situation claim that multiple former employees, party staff, and even a few industry insiders have started speaking with attorneys. They're saying they were pressured to stay silent back in the day, but now with this new law, they finally feel safe to come forward. If that's true, this could turn into one of the biggest entertainment scandals we've ever seen. And here's the wild part. Lawyers familiar with the case are already predicting a wave of new filings in the next few weeks. Some reports even mention that a few production companies and security teams connected to Diddy's old events might be facing legal action too. It's like a domino effect. One person speaks, and suddenly 10 more find the courage to say, yeah, that happened to me too. People online are saying this could be the start of a full-blown reckoning for Hollywood's secret party culture, the one everyone's whispered about, but no one dared to expose until now. Social media is already flooded with hashtags demanding accountability and justice, and fans are re-watching old clips and interviews, pointing out red flags that nobody noticed before. And if the rumors about new evidence being submitted are true, oh, it's about to get real. This might not just be the end of Diddy's empire. It could shake the entire industry to its core, because if this many people start talking, the truth won't stay buried for long. Now, the internet's going wild because what's starting to leak out next sounds unreal. Reporters are saying investigators might have uncovered new digital evidence, messages, emails, and even voice notes connected to Diddy's old parties. And here's the crazy part. Some of these messages apparently show that other celebrities were warned not to talk or post anything from those nights. That's major. Insiders claim a few of these messages came from burner phones that were later traced back to people in Diddy's inner circle. Think about that. If they really used throwaway phones to hide what was going on, that's a whole new level of planning. And it makes everyone wonder, how deep does this go, and who else was in on it? One journalist who's been following the case said the files contain patterns of communication that line up perfectly with the nights of those infamous parties, down to the hour. That means someone was keeping track of everything. If investigators can connect those messages to specific dates and people, this could completely flip the narrative.
Social media detectives are already breaking it all down, comparing outfits, flight logs, and even old tag photos from years ago. Fans are matching timestamps like it's a full-on investigation, and honestly, they might be onto something. Every day a new clip or photo pops up, and people are starting to see the puzzle come together in real time. And here's the part that's got everyone's attention. Word is, the feds might be preparing to question a few major names soon, not just folks close to Diddy. If that's true, things could get explosive fast. Nobody's safe if those messages are verified. The internet's calling this the calm before the storm, and it's starting to feel that way, because once this next round of evidence drops, there's no going back. The truth is cracking wide open.
Just being able to be here this evening. In Jesus' name, we pray. Amen.
Bring it in, bring it in.
Hold up.
And Hollywood's about to face a reality check like never before. It's getting heavier by the day, because now reports say the FBI might be stepping in to expand the investigation. Yeah, you heard that right. This could be going way beyond just local authorities. Sources claim federal agents are reviewing evidence from multiple states, trying to connect all the dots between Diddy's properties, his business accounts, and the people who worked those infamous parties. This is turning into something massive. And get this, there's talk that some of the people who used to roll with Diddy are already cutting deals to protect themselves.
Apparently, a few of his former employees and associates have quietly started cooperating with investigators, giving him inside info about how things really work behind closed doors. That's wild, because it means the walls might finally be closing in. Law enforcement insiders are saying they're focusing on three main things right now: the flow of money, the movement of people between cities during party weekends, and digital communications that could prove coordination. They're trying to figure out whether any of those events were used to hide deeper crimes, and if so, who else was involved. People online are speculating that if these witnesses keep talking, it could expose an entire network, not just one man. Some are even comparing this to other huge Hollywood scandals that blew up years later once people finally started speaking out. Meanwhile, the industry's starting to panic. Big-name artists and producers are suddenly deleting old photos and scrubbing social media posts where they were seen with Diddy. That's never a good sign. It's like everyone's trying to distance themselves before things explode further. And honestly, the way this is unfolding, it feels like the start of something much bigger than anyone expected. The question everyone's asking now is simple but chilling. If this is just the beginning, what else is still hidden? Because every new leak seems to prove one thing: this story is nowhere near over. And now, things are getting real messy. Word on the street is that a few big-name celebrities who used to party with Diddy have gone completely silent. No interviews, no social media, nothing. It's like they vanished overnight. People are saying their teams told them to lay low until this blows over, but that silence is only making fans more suspicious. Everyone's wondering, what are they hiding?
Rumors online say at least 2 of these celebrities have already been approached by investigators for questioning, and one might have even turned over private footage from one of Diddy's events. If that's true, this could blow the entire case wide open. Insiders claim this footage isn't just blurry party clips, it's clear, time-stamped video that shows exactly who was there and what went down. That's the kind of proof that changes everything. Meanwhile, Hollywood publicists are working overtime trying to protect their clients' reputations. A few music insiders are even whispering that some executives are preparing to resign quietly before their names hit the headlines. It's chaos behind the scenes. Phones ringing nonstop, lawyers being hired, PR statements being drafted. The whole industry's on edge. And here's the wildest part. People who used to defend Diddy online are suddenly deleting tweets, wiping posts, and pretending they were never fans. The switch-up is real. Everyone's trying to save face before the next round of evidence drops. But according to sources close to the case, this is just the tip of the iceberg. There are supposedly more tapes, more witnesses, and more names waiting to surface. And when they do, it's going to be explosive. You can already feel it in the air. Something huge is coming, and it's about to shake the entertainment world to its core. Because at this point, it's not just about Diddy anymore, it's about how deep this web really goes. And if what insiders are saying is true, the next chapter of this story might be the one that changes everything. You can even go after the companies that helped or covered it all up. Yeah, that means record labels, management teams, and anyone who knew what was going on but decided to stay quiet. Under this new California law, every single one of them can now be sued. That's huge. This is the kind of legal shakeup that could rock the entire entertainment world. We saw something similar happen in New York not too long ago, and hundreds of lawsuits came pouring in. Now, California has opened that same door, and you already know what that means. A lot of big names in Hollywood are definitely panicking right now. So let me ask you, what do you think about all this? Which part of this story shocked you the most? Was it the go-go dancer's heartbreaking story, the leaked freak-off tapes, or that disturbing video of the guy passed out at one of Diddy's parties? There's so much to unpack here, and every detail just makes the whole situation even darker. And here's the real question. Do you think other celebrities are about to get exposed too? Because honestly, based on everything we've seen so far, it's starting to look like Diddy wasn't the only one caught up in this kind of madness. There might be a whole web of people who thought they could hide forever, but that time might finally be over. So now, I want to hear from you. Drop your thoughts down in the comments. I actually read them, and I want to know what you think about where this story's headed. Do you think this is just the beginning, or is the truth finally catching up to everyone involved? If you made it this far, make sure to like, subscribe, share, and comment to keep this conversation going. There's way more coming, and you won't want to miss what happens next, because this story is far from over.